8 people have been killed and 20 others injured in US airstrikes across southern Iran. Explosions were reported at railways, airports and bridges early Friday. Iranian authorities say that has slowed traffic along roads that connect major hubs. The US says the attacks hit dozens of military targets, including coastal surveillance and air defence positions. Iran's health ministry says the attacks this month have killed at least 38 people. US forces also struck coastal cities along the Strait of Hormuz overnight. Explosions were reported in the port cities of Bandar Abbas and Sirak. Qashm Island, home to Iran's largest port, as well as key naval and Revolutionary Guards facilities, also came under attack. US Central Command says the attacks are aimed at further degrading Tehran's military capabilities. Iran says it's carried out a new wave of strikes targeting US military assets across the region. The Revolutionary Guard says it's attacked a command centre in Syria and destroyed maritime and air control radar systems in Oman. Jordan says it intercepted and destroyed incoming Iranian missiles. Kuwait and Bahrain have also reported threats, while here in Qatar, falling shrapnel injured one child. Resul Serdar joins us now live from Tehran. Resul, another night of US attacks across the country. What was targeted?
Well, this time what we have seen was a systemic attack on the Iranian civilian infrastructure. So we're talking about the bridges, railways and airports. So 7 bridges were hit and 6 of them are in Bandar Khamir. So Bandar Khamir, where most of these bridges are connecting the port and Bandar Abbas also to the city of Lar. So 200 miles inland, and these are quite important because Bandar Khamir is a small town, a small port town. It's very much close to Qashm Island, the biggest island in the Gulf. So, and then these lines that are connected by these bridges are quite important for the movement of people, for the fuel, and of course for the military ammunition as well. And then Bandar Abbas Railway also was hit. Bandar Abbas Railway is quite an important one because that is simply connecting the country's largest port to the central Iran, particularly the cities such as Shiraz. So what we're seeing here, these attacks are aiming to cut off the southern part of the country with the main inland, and that is quite a huge concern for Iranians. So another target that was hit is the railway and also the airport in Iran Shahr, which is in Sistan, Balochistan, close to the Pakistani border. That is also important because there are some of the separatist groups in Sistan, Balochistan that are fighting against the Iranian army since decades. So degrading IRGC's capacity here could lead to insurgency.
OK, that opens up a whole new concept of what this conflict could mean in the future then, Resul. So what has Iran's response been to last night's attacks and the previous nights?
Well, mostly the statements are coming from the military officials. The first one was from the spokesperson of Khatam al-Anbiya Joint Command Center. It is the body that is overseeing Iran's war affair, and he said infrastructure for infrastructure. That is Iran's policy. If the United States attacks Iranian critical infrastructure, power plants, energy facilities, bridges, the water facilities, so Tehran's response is going to be in kind. They're going to attack all the critical infrastructure in the region. And then, in the same line, we have seen another statement coming from the spokesperson of the armed forces of Iran, Abolfaz Shekarchi. And he's saying that our official position, we are officially declaring that if the Americans strike and target the infrastructure of the Islamic Republic, all the infrastructure in the region will become our legitimate target. If Iran will not be able to sell oil, no one in the region can. So what we're seeing here is tit for tat policy that is being adopted by Iran. And of course, these statements came before American attacks on the critical infrastructure. So we're going to see what will be Iran's response.
Resul Serdar joining us from the Iranian capital, Tehran. Thank you. Let's go to Laura Khan now, who joins us live from Doha. Laura, alerts going off in the early hours of this morning in Qatar. What have authorities had to say?
That's right, Anna. We all heard it from here at around 3:30 a.m. local time. Alerts were going off on everyone's phones. There was a public security announcement telling people to get away from the windows, to stay inside, to shelter. We then heard a number of explosions above as interceptions were taking place. A second incoming at around 5:45 in the morning now. With the first round, we know that from falling debris from one of those interceptions, from the Interior Ministry of Qatar, they said a child had been injured, that they are now being treated. So obviously a very sad outcome from these missiles coming over. But this is very rare occurrence, especially in Qatar, where the defence infrastructure is multi-layered, multi-pronged, and especially their air defences. So they do say they are at a high level of readiness and preparedness. But we've also seen this taking place throughout the Gulf in the morning, from Jordan, Bahrain, who accused Iran of targeting civilians, and also in Oman. We know there was a rocky outcrop that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard said they were targeting around this area in the north, and also took out some American infrastructure there. So obviously this escalation is continuing, and all the Gulf nations, specifically Qatar and Oman as well, are saying they need to de-escalate and choose a path of diplomacy and dialogue instead.
Laura Khan joining us from Doha. Thank you.